Greetings, fellow traders. Bubblehead here, and it's time for the lunchtime market update for Thursday, May 7th, 2020. I hope everybody's having a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's check and see where we're at the market today. So pretty good today. We're bullish today again, so up 45 points as we're right here just above the mid-Bollinger Band on the monthly chart on the SPX. So let's see if they continue to hold and we get some strength and maybe even get out of last month's high. It's interesting that we are up again on bad job numbers, but apparently there's still talks with the U.S. and China on trade talks, things like that, and I guess it's all bullish. So anyway, so let's go from there. So far the weekly chart pretty strong. We got one more day left in the week, right? But we got to watch out still for that upper shadow, which closed that gap on the weekly chart, and we are below the 3-weekly moving average. Now, just because we're up 45 points today doesn't mean that we traded 45 points today. A big chunk of that was from the gap down, right? From the gap up today, right? So here yesterday we closed pretty bearishly, right? We gapped up today. So the market is loving to do this, right? And why is it doing this? Because we're in the trend box right here. We're below the trend line. We're not trending right now. We're just chopping. So we need to either break down below these lows and start to see some action to the downside, or push up above these highs, and try to get over the 200-day moving average and start to get some bigger days, hopefully, out of this, so we could look for some more trending days. But for the most part, we've had kind of a gapish type go on some sectors, right? Software has been pretty strong today, and we're seeing some movement in some of the gold miners, things like that. But anyway, and a little bit of a squeeze on the financials. But anyway, let's take a look here. Let's go to the SPY. Again, we're about halfway through the day and about half the volume right there. So we're coming out of the inside day high, but not with a lot of momentum today. So let's take a look at the intraday price action. So a lot of chop here. We got a pop here out of the 15-orb high. It was very, very choppy. We got a pop here. This was a quick pop, guys, out of this because of the I think there was some positive guild news. And so we got a little pop of that. We're kind of fading that back right now. So it's still very, very, very choppy. And so we'll take a look at that and see where that goes into the rest of the day. And so right now we have the S&P futures, right, pulling back a little bit right here, back to the 15-orb, very similar. We had a nice, a big move up overnight as we took this trend channel up and tried to break down this morning, but ended up pulling its 15-orb lows and basically coming back to the 15-orb high as well. Same thing here with the MES. Okay, so MES, same thing here, just pulling back up here. Lots of upper shadows here at the highs. If we go kind of scroll back here, you can see, that we were struggling with these levels a little bit right here, and then a big congestion zone right here that we're finding a little bit of more congestion right here going into that. So let's take a look at the Qs. Okay, so Qs, a couple of the tech names were pretty strong this morning. Now this did gap above this ascending triangle level right here. So let's see how that closes today. See if we can get some volume in on the Qs today and see where that takes us. The IWM. Okay, still this is super duper choppy, still within the big triangle right there. The XLF. This was on the bearish radar going in today because of the breakdown candle right here. We didn't have the volume, so we wanted to see follow through to the downside. We ended up gapping up and getting back over that geometric line today, so not surprised to see it doing that. Apple. So Apple's still holding trend, right? So that's helping the Qs with its gap up. So we get a little bit of strength there. We've also got Tesla. Super duper choppy day today. Apparently they had to abruptly shut their Shanghai plant, and that's just, instead of going down on that news, it's just chopping around on that news. So maybe it's building up energy for another big move, and that's what we're seeing so far in that sector. Right now we've got a few chart requests. So let's take a look. We've got work. So work made a nice pop this morning here. It's got a few upper shadows at a couple of these levels, and some good volume came in today, but it's still having trouble getting over this potential cup, head and shoulders failure. Here's your shoulders, kind of an extended right shoulder right here, and so see if it can close above these levels. But it did get some, it did hit our radars today for some strength. So software has been pretty strong today. The XLE, we've got a lot of earnings coming up in this sector. On some of the energy names, some of the Duke Energy, things like that. So keep an eye on that. Real choppy here, upper shadow. It's still holding this pivot level, but it really needs to get over these levels right here in order for us to see a potential momentum move out of the cloud. Square with earnings today, so that was another one. So this is software and it's finance. So this is one of your fintech names, and a big move here today off of the open. It did have some strength here. There's a lot of flow in it, right? Just some nice moves here to the upside. It was a 60 anchor yesterday, right? So it came down after earnings, but they bought the dip today, got out of your 15 orb, and kind of came up for a nice move there this morning. PayPal as well. PayPal was pretty significant today. This one got to all-time highs. It didn't get as much movement because now it's doing price discovery, but it did give a nice move out of the pre-market box high. A couple others that are out there. So Lyft has been interesting. So Lyft had earnings this morning. Lyft's doing pretty well. It's getting a lift here as it's following its ADMA up on the 15-minute chart. If we go to the daily, you can see right here, big candle right here. It's this is kind of an area you think to reverse. Remember we talked about those gaps. Sometimes it likes to fill those higher level gaps to the upside. Piton had earnings today as well. That was a big gap too. So kind of a big range here today. Right, they tried to push it down, and then we did get a reversal off of it, but it was a little muted as we're still in the 15 orb range. And then finally, although Moderna had earnings today, Guild had that news that got the market to pop a little bit, saying some more follow through on their remdesivir, things like that. So that got a big pop here. So but it's having trouble getting over its pre-market level. So other than that, guys, great requests, great stuff. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your trading day. Stay healthy out there. Remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.